Once upon a time, in a small picturesque town nestled in the heart of a lush valley, there lived a man named Alexander. He was a handsome and charismatic man with a magnetic charm that drew people to him like moths to a flame. His aspirations, however, were singular and obsessive. He longed to marry the most beautiful woman in the town, Isabella. Isabella was the embodiment of beauty. Her ethereal presence turned heads wherever she went, and her gentle demeanor was equally enchanting. Every man in town had tried to win her affection, but it was Alexander who succeeded. Their love story began as a fairy tale romance. It was the stuff of legends whispered through the streets and painted on the canvas of dreams. The early days of their marriage were blissful. Alexander cherished Isabella with boundless adoration, and she reciprocated his affection with love and grace. They lived in a grand house on the outskirts of the town, surrounded by fragrant rose gardens and a bubbling brook. The town envied their love, and for a while, their happiness seemed eternal. However, as time went on, a darkness began to grow within Alexander. Jealousy, like a poison, started to seep into his heart. He couldn't bear the thought of other men even looking at his beloved Isabella. He became paranoid and controlling, forbidding her from leaving the house without his permission. He locked her away from the world, convinced that his love could only be protected by her seclusion. Isabella's life became a gilded cage, and her spirit slowly withered away. She yearned for her former life, the freedom to breathe the fresh air, to talk to friends, to feel the sun on her skin. She often wondered how her once loving husband had become this monster, this jailer of her heart and soul. One fateful day, while Alexander was away on business, Isabella was preparing lunch in their dimly lit kitchen. As she sliced vegetables, exhaustion overcame her. The weight of her captivity had sapped her energy. She leaned against the kitchen counter and dozed off, a tranquil respite from her suffocating existence. Unbeknownst to Isabella, a cruel twist of fate was unfolding. The stove, forgotten in her moment of reprieve, had ignited into flames. Fire spread rapidly through the kitchen, its greedy fingers licking at the wooden beams and curtains, turning her refuge into a raging inferno. Isabella awoke in a panic, choking on thick smoke. Desperation took hold as she rushed to the doors and windows, only to find them locked from the outside. The realization struck her like a lightning bolt. Alexander had imprisoned her even from the threat of death. Tears streamed down her face as she frantically searched for a way to escape the encroaching flames. The flames danced around her, a deadly waltz of destruction. She screamed for help, but the echoes were swallowed by the devouring fire. Her once-loved home had become her tomb. As the fire consumed her, Isabella's last thoughts were of the love they once shared, now a distant memory. In the end, her beauty and grace couldn't save her from the cruel fate her marriage had become. Upon returning home, Alexander was met with a sight that would haunt him for the rest of his days. His beautiful Isabella had perished in the very home he had locked her in, consumed by the inferno of his jealousy and possessiveness. Regret and guilt overwhelmed him, his heart forever scarred by the tragedy he had brought upon them both. In the end, Alexander's relentless obsession had cost him not only the life of his beloved Isabella, but also his own humanity, leaving him to wander the earth in solitude, a living ghost filled with remorse and sorrow. The tale of their tragic love affair became a cautionary legend, a reminder of the devastating consequences of jealousy and possessiveness when love turns to obsession. Dear followers, what do you think should Alexander do to seek redemption for his actions? And how can he honor Isabella's memory and find a path to forgiveness? Share your ideas and help shape the future of this tragic love story. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe for more fascinating stories right here on Stories of Louty. Until next time, be good.